Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jordan Taylor, author of How to Wash Your Brain, Rote Learning Secrets for Homeschool, High School, and Beyond. And we're back with our video series. Some would say this is the best video series about learning how to learn, but we definitely want to help you whether you are someone in college or high school or middle school struggling with learning during a pandemic, or especially if you're a parent who's struggling with all this hybrid nonsense or virtual nonsense, all that, you're left scratching your head wondering, how do I help my child learn best? Well, I'm here today with another tip, and I'm going to tell you that exactly right now. So imagine when you were back in school, or imagine you've heard this from a lot of kids, probably said it yourself, that a teacher walks in and starts talking to you about some topic, and kids want to ask, why do we need to know this? When are we going to use this? These are classic questions that are asked over and over again, and there's a really good reason why people ask these questions. And when they're asking, they actually want to have some sort of meaning behind it. They want something that's going to hook them. We're going to call this a meaning hook. So, what is a meaning hook? I'll give you an example that we can all relate to. Imagine you're in a crowded room and everybody's talking, there's a lot of background noise, maybe it's a cocktail party or something like that, and suddenly you hear someone say your name. Why were you able to pick your name out of all the other background noise? It's because your name has significant meaning to you. It has a lot of meaning. And this meaning comes from your experiences in the past, largely. In the past, your specific name has been very important to you. So, when someone says it, since it's supercharged with meaning, it hooks your attention and pulls you in. It's this hooking of attention that we want to use for the learning process. So I think of it this way. When you're learning, there's tons of skills and facts that are just going by in a stream like a bunch of fish. Okay, you're not going to catch them all, but you're going to catch a whole lot more if you have a hook to throw in there with your line. You're going to catch a whole lot more fish. And in this case, if you have meaning behind what you're trying to learn, you're going to catch a lot more information, a lot more knowledge, a lot more skills that are going to help you with your overall learning process. So, with that said, you need to understand that you cannot just go off of natural meaning. Natural meaning is those things that are just important to you because of who you are. Say you're a baseball fan. If someone starts talking about baseball or making analogies about baseball, you're going to perk up, and all of that stuff is going to have more meaning to you. But if you're a soccer fan, all that baseball stuff is not going to have as much meaning. So that's what I mean by natural meaning. Okay, it's the stuff that kind of accidentally happens during the learning process. Instead, we want to create artificial meaning. What are some ways you can do that? Well, there are really three ways that you can create artificial meaning. The first way is give yourself some kind of performance that you have to do. Imagine someone who wants to learn how to run a marathon. So they sign up for a marathon 6 months out. When they sign up for that marathon, now everything that has to do with running, eating well, getting in shape, getting enough rest, all of that becomes supercharged with meaning because the person who wants to learn knows that they have a performance coming up that they've committed to. So that's one way. Another way would be to set yourself some sort of project. Okay, if you are going to build something, like get a bunch of wood and saws and hammers and nails and all that stuff, and you're going to build something, now learning how to take the measurements, how to draw the plans, all of that is supercharged with meaning because you know that the knowledge you're going to take will apply to this project later. So that's project and performance. Those are just generic names. I use two specific examples, but it covers, really your mind is the limit as to where you could apply this. The last thing I'll say, and this is not the best, but it does create meaning for you, is to have some sort of test. This is kind of like a performance, but it's like the next level down, where you're just testing to see if you learned what you set out to learn. This could look like a multiple choice quiz. This could look like some sort of writing assignment. It could look like being able to act something out. Again, your mind is the only limit on how you can test what you're trying to learn. But imagine that you're just learning and you know you're never going to have to be tested on this knowledge. Your learning is going to be a lot slower, and you're not going to have some kind of meaning to direct your focus and direct your attention, like standing in a noisy room, being able to hear your name. That kind of meaning hook. You want to generate that, and you can do that by setting yourself up a performance, a project, or at the very least, just testing yourself. So apply this to yourself, apply it to your kids, manufacture meaning or connect the dots to some personal meaning whenever you can, and you're going to greatly and rapidly enhance the learning process. All right, for more of these tricks, you can check out my book on Amazon, or just keep coming back to this video series.